Hi Annabelle, how was your day?
It was good.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
What was your favorite vacation that you've ever been on?
My favorite vacation that I've ever been on was a cruise during Thanksgiving. And we went to 4 different stops.
When did you go?
I went during the week of November 22nd through the 26th, 2 years ago in 2018.
What was your favorite part of your vacation?
My favorite part was probably the Teens Club on the cruise, and I also very much enjoyed the meal on the last night, because last night was Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you mentioned that you went on 4 different stops as a part of your cruise. What was the first stop and what was your favorite part about it?
The first stop we went to was the Bahamas. There we didn't do too much, so we took a horse ride on a little carriage with my mom, my dad, and I, and we ran around and we saw some historic areas in Nassau, Bahamas, and then we hung out at the beach and came back on the ship.
Nice. That sounds like fun.
Yes.
What was the second stop that you went on?
The second day we had a day at sea, which are my favorite, but the second stop was, I believe, Turks and Caicos. It was another beach, and the beach, we just hung out there, and they had a water slide and a lazy river, but I just hung out, and there was some fish crawling by my feet, so we didn't do any excursions that time.
I love the beach.
Me too.
What was the third stop?
This third stop was, I believe, Dominican Republic. I am forgetting the name of the place we went to, but it'll come back to me later. But there we had a very interesting time. My mom signed us up for an excursion to go and help make chocolate. And chocolate there is very fine chocolate, and they call it cacao chocolate. It's not super sweet, but we helped smash the chocolate nuts and make it into chocolate, and then we put it into chocolate bars, and then we saw how they froze it, and then we bought some on the way back, and after that we hopped in a bus and rode back to the island. It's like a 40-minute ride. And that's how we spent Thanksgiving Day.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the fourth day, or the last excursion trip?
The last excursion trip was another beach, but I need to look up that beach, but that one I remember we did go on a horseback ride. My mom has always wanted to, so we got on a horseback ride in the ocean. So that was very fun, except sometimes the horses weren't cooperating, so we had to bring them along a little bit. And then we just hung out at the beach some more. We did a lot of beach hanging out. And then we got back on the ship. And we also ate some food, some good chicken.
Do you like to swim?
Swimming? I wouldn't say I'm the best swimmer, but I do like to swim in the ocean.
So would you rather swim in the ocean or lay on the beach?
I'd say a good mix. Lay on the beach and then cool off in the water.
What was your favorite thing that you ate during the trip?
My favorite thing that I ate was definitely the last meal of the cruise. We had lobster for dinner because it was Thanksgiving night, and that was the most exotic Thanksgiving meal I've had. And we got to dress up, and I wore my homecoming dress from that past October. And so everyone looked very nice, and I think I ate some sweet potato bisque, and I also had some pumpkin pie. Very good.
Was there a lot of desserts on the cruise, or did you just eat for Thanksgiving dessert?
I had dessert about every night. I loved getting dessert, but I didn't eat all of it every night, but for lunch, I definitely got dessert. And so we had a little bit of a mix. My mom loves to try all desserts, so I had a few bites of hers too.
Did the cruise have an ice cream maker on it? I remember one cruise that I went on had like a soft serve.
Oh my gosh, I love ice cream, but by that time, I can't remember if I ate ice cream or not. I've been trying to take a break from ice cream because it's, I don't know, trying to eat less desserts, but I think I was eating ice cream on that cruise. I probably had 2 cones a day. It's a lot of ice cream, but not as much as this other kid. He had like 6 cones a day, maybe even more. It's crazy.
But was it cold during the cruise? Because it was what, November?
November? Oh, no way. It was still about mid-70s, probably like 78 most of the time, maybe 82 in the Bahamas. Stays about 80 in the Bahamas.
That's really nice weather.
Yeah, it was pretty good weather. No storms or anything, no harsh waves, thank goodness. I mean, I'm used to it. Been on a lot of cruises, but the weather, we've never experienced bad weather, thank goodness.
That's good.
Very good.
Okay, so you mentioned that the last day for Thanksgiving dinner you wore your homecoming dress from that year, but what was like the most common thing that you wore, or what did you wear on the normal days?
For the normal days, my usual outfit was a cute tank top and a pair of shorts, either jean shorts or athletic shorts. And usually, well, I tried to wear a swimsuit top and shorts just around the cruise, running about, and well, most of the time I had my swimsuit underneath my clothes in case I ever wanted to get in the pool, because I barely got in the pool. I just run around with the people I met, but...
What was your least favorite part about the cruise?
My least favorite part of every cruise I always go on is always like leaving the cruise on the last day. But I don't usually have like a very least favorite part, but just so sad to say goodbye to all the friends I made.
So overall, the whole cruise is just always so much fun.
Yes.
That's good.
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
So what is your favorite vacation that you've ever gone on?
My favorite vacation that I've ever been on is when my whole family, except for my dad, went with my grandma to Europe.
Oh, wow. That sounds like fun. So when did you go on this big vacation?
In the summer of 2017, I believe, we went in July. It was very hot. First we went to London for like the first week, and then we went to Paris for a couple of days, and then we went to Italy, and in Italy we went to Umbria first, and then we went to Rome after. And to get from London to Paris, we took the train that is underwater in the English Channel.
Oh my goodness.
And that was really cool. It was really fun. At first it was kind of scary because I was like, how is this train going to survive going through the water? And are we gonna like die? I didn't know if the water would like go in the train. But we made it safely. It was only like a 45-minute ride, but it was cool. I've never been in a train before. And then we flew from Paris to Italy, to Umbria, and then to Rome.
Could you see outside the tram any animals flying by?
Outside the train underwater?
Yeah.
No, it was like a normal train, but you couldn't like see outside of it. It wasn't like windows. I really wish it was. At first when I was like thinking, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so exciting. I'm gonna be able to see like fish and stuff, but no, it was kind of boring.
So you went to see lots of museums, or did you spend a lot of time in the ocean?
A lot of museums and churches. I can start in London. So in London, we did a lot of shopping. Actually, it's just a big like city. We stayed in this huge hotel, and we actually went with a group like of tourists, and we had a guide for the whole time. And in London, it was cool because we had our personal guide for our group, for our family, and it was fun to like compare languages and like how he said stuff with his accent. And he took us to a few cathedrals and churches, and we went to a lot of museums. And my favorite part of London is when we went to the Queen's Palace, and we stood out in front of it, and it was really beautiful. It was fun to see. And then we stayed for the March of the Soldiers. They march around the palace like every hour of the day. So it was cool to see them march around on their horses with their like guns, and they had these huge hats, and they wore red and black, and they looked very like slick and cool. So yeah, that was fun in London. And then after London, after we took the train to Paris, in Paris we it was different because everyone was speaking French. Obviously, it was a different language. I learned how to count to 10 in French, and I learned certain things like to say hi and goodbye, obviously, and please, and just some different parts of language. In Paris, the main thing that we did was look at churches and a lot of museums. And we went to the Louvre, which was my favorite place. It's like an art museum, and it has this like triangular like prism, like dome thing, where you're underground, and you can see through with the dome. I can put a picture.
Isn't that where they have the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, the Mona Lisa's in there, and it was really cool because our tourist group got to like be in the whole thing by ourselves with no one else there. Ooh. So I was this close to the Mona Lisa, and it was the coolest thing ever. I have a lot of pictures. But yeah, it was really special to be able to be in there like just ourselves. That was pretty much it in Paris. Paris wasn't like my favorite place out of the three, just because it was like dirty, which is weird because a lot of people like really want to go to Paris because it's like, they're like, oh, it's Paris, but it's like a lot of trash. I remember one night I got this ice cream thing from Paris that was huge and had cotton candy, and it had like sprinkles and ice cream, and it was just huge. Yeah, so after Paris, when we flew to Umbria, we just did a one-day trip in Umbria, where we went truffle hunting with like dogs. Truffles are these like little spice things that you put in food that give it flavor. So yeah, that was fun. Umbria was very pretty. It was a lot of green, a lot of trees, just, you know, very outdoor. It's very different than Paris. And then after Umbria, when we went to Italy, Umbria's in Italy, but we went to Rome. And Rome was beautiful. I loved Rome. There's so many buildings and so much architecture. We went to a lot of museums in Rome. And then my favorite part of Rome was when we went to the Colosseum, which is where the gladiators fought just for entertainment. And we got to walk on the floor of the Colosseum.
How much of it was still there?
A lot of it. There's a piece of it missing, like around the side, just from decaying and like erosion. But most of it's still there, and you can see like under the floor, you can see all like maze type things with walls where the animals would stay, where they would like release the animals to go kill the gladiator if they weren't dead. But yeah, that was that was cool. It was fun to see. The last day of, of Rome, we went up to this beautiful mountain where we had it was a restaurant, it was like a house, and we got to see the sunset over the hill, and we ate delicious foods. Italy had the best food I have ever tasted, and there was a lot of wine tasting. That was the first time I drank wine, and it's because they don't have a limit for drinking wine in Italy. It's just like given to children. But yeah, my parents let me taste different types. They're very, their food is just very rich and very good. Like they take a lot of time in preparing it. The one thing that was really weird about all of Italy is that their dinner meals last at least 5 hours.
Whoa.
The first hour is drinks. The second hour is appetizers, and then they have 2 hours for the main course, and they just have people constantly serving them. Italy, their culture, they really like to just talk and be with each other and eat, and then there's dessert obviously last.